huge game this Saturday. Eastleigh, another tough game. Again, I think our first 3 games have got to be one of the hardest runs in the season, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I suppose we brought it on ourselves by arranging a Solihull match, but nonetheless, even though our squad's not complete, bring it on, because you've got to get the good teams. You've got to play them at some point. You don't go up if you have the mentality that you're frightened of strong sides, and frankly, with the squad we've assembled, we shouldn't be nervous. We should be going anywhere and looking to impose ourselves.
Yeah, of course. And again, Eastleigh, they were a tough side for us to play last season. I think we probably deserved to get the 3 points away and at home, really, unfortunately. But this season, again, another tough outfit, aren't they?
Absolutely. They haven't played yet this season, of course. Didn't play the first Saturday of the season. And they've, again, pretty much kept their best players. They will be decent. They were both very fractious games last season, weren't they? Both quite nasty. Tyler French got sent off in the first one. We drew 1-1, led through Kwame Thomas, brilliant goal, and then conceded a ludicrous penalty decision. Honestly, unbelievable. Yeah. James Horsfield penalised for clearing the ball off his line, and we drew. And then the game here was very contentious. Of course, we had Kelleher sent off very harshly. We were 2-1 down with 10 men and dominated the game from there on, equalised, and then Jamie Record appeared to have a cast iron penalty turned down in the box, which also would have been a red card. And of course, there was also the rumble in the dugouts.
Yeah, there was. It was like a Royal Rumble. It was the Wrexham Royal Rumble against Eastleigh. I don't want to say it, they were quite a feisty team, aren't they, Eastleigh?
They were mouthy, weren't they? Let's be honest. They were really mouthy. And in the empty stadium, and you could hear it on the stream of the away game.
Yeah.
They were really at the referee. They were working him really hard. And as that often happens in the National League, referees aren't terribly strong and maybe get influenced.
Yeah, but they're a good side. It's a tough outfit. It's a tough outfit, tough game. I've been messaging back and forth with an Eastleigh fan, James Hutchings. Thanks very much for the notes, really, because I could do the research myself. But it's easy to get the away fans to do it for me. But yeah, I've asked if they've had any signings. They've signed Jake Hesketh. He's had 2 senior appearances for Southampton, so obviously played at a high level. Josh Hare from Bristol Rovers, who's played a few divisions above, and Ben House and Joe McDonnell have extended their time at the club, who are both good players, aren't they? They've had a decent pre-season. They beat I think they beat Brentford B. I think he says.
I thought they lost 1-0.
They lost 1-0. Sorry, rereading this guy. His thing said they held their own. They looked pretty good against the Premier League B side, so that's good. He describes their players direct counter-attack. We constantly press and have high work rate. Tend to play 5 at the back and have a target man up top. So, yeah.
Yeah, Barnett's a target man. He makes the ball stick, and he's decent. House, like you said, is a good player, and he plays off him, so they've got a good front pair. They like you said, they play 3 at the back, and the difference between Solihull's 3 at the back and theirs is they tend to use the wing backs a lot and very high up the pitch, so they'll push their wing backs up as high as they can, which will make that a really interesting battle for us, because obviously we like to get our wing backs high up the pitch too. And if we have to play Tyler French at right wing back, and I don't really see any alternative if Paul Johnson's not fit, then that's going to be very interesting, because as we saw in the pre-season games, he wanted to get right up as high as possible and win diagonals in the air, knock them down into the box. And Kelly on that side will be looking to get the pitch really high as well. So the wings are going to be absolutely fascinating, I think, and a really good indicator of exactly how well the game's going for either side, how successful both teams are in advancing their wing backs to push the other wing backs into their own half. I think that's going to be a really interesting scrap.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, and it's always a tough place to go, isn't it? And they've got a very experienced manager who's made about 140 appearances for Eastleigh himself, so he's well liked at the club.
Yeah, he's done well against us in the past as well when he was playing.
Yeah,
he seems a pretty canny manager. I am interested as well. Hollands, who scored that. I don't want to talk about it, but that fantastic goal in the playoff here,
Yeah.
is struggling to be fit, apparently, which is encouraging as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Although he's not the quickest, but he's a decent centre mid who can move the ball around really well. The other one who's not the quickest, who is interesting, of course, is Andrew Boyce,
Yeah.
who has been sent off twice against us, once in the 18-19 season and then the next season as well, both times at Eastleigh. And I'm sure he's desperate to make that hat-trick. He's a good centre-back. He's slow.
Yeah.
And, he wants to back off once people are running at him. So I like the thought maybe of us getting people going at him. The other thing is that with their wing-back so high up the pitch, well, that leaves space for Mullin to do what he likes to do best, run around the sides in behind the wing-backs. So I'm really interested in this game. I think it's going to be, it's another really tough test, just like the Solihull game was. But we seem to have the weapons to get at them, I would suggest.
What changes, if any, apart from the obvious one with Reece Johnson, would you make?
Well, I suppose it's reliant firstly on whether we bring in a centre-back.
Yeah.
Beyond that, sorry, go on.
It's the defensive line that's going to be the change the most, isn't it?
And okay, if we have to play French at right wing back, what do we then do at centre back? Is Lennon able to give us 90 minutes? I suspect we might be pushing him a bit too far to do that. And you don't really want to start a centre back thinking after an hour we'll have to bring him off. So do we buy a new centre back to put alongside Hayden and Cleworth, sorry? And then the other question, and it seems a bit harsh really, but you've just brought in a good midfielder. Is he ready to start? He hasn't played this season, but he's had a full pre-season, so I'd assume he is ready to start. Who would make way in that three? Probably David Jones, despite his absolute screamer. And then you ask yourself, does that mean Jones goes back to centre-back? Possibly.
Yeah.
Like I said, Barnett's interesting though, because if you have a central three of Hayden, Jones, Cleworth, I would say you've only got one out-and-out physical centre-back. I know Jones is big, but he's not by trade a centre-back. So Barnett will be looking to get onto Cleworth, will be looking to get onto Jones. I think if you do play that three as well, Jones has to be the central one. I think we protected Cleworth a little bit, putting him in the middle of the three last Saturday, and it worked very well. If you put him out wide, that maybe gives Barnett the scope to come along and target him, and Record could help a bit, but then we want our wing backs, as I said earlier, up the pitch. So not as much
stick
as
Jamie Record as centre back.
Could see
Cameron Green left back, and then French, like we did the Curzon Aston pre-season.
Yeah, absolutely. We've yet to see whether Parkinson is a rotator.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bizarre.
We also got the game. We've also got the game on Monday as well, haven't we?
That's true. Yeah. So it might be. Yeah, that's true. We might have to keep an eye on that. David Jones looks extremely fit, but he has had a lot of injuries in the past. Has he got 90 minutes in 3 days in him? Likewise, has Lennon. Well, like I said, has Lennon got 90 minutes in him at the moment anyway? But certainly, to start both sounds dubious to me.
Yeah.
Sounds a stretch.
And then we got the game the following Saturday as well. Southend, isn't it? So, it's a lot of dilemmas for Parkinson to go through, really, isn't it? So,
but some of them are down to the fact he's got good choices as well. So some of the problems are, to use a cliche, the problems the manager wants to have. So,
could Jamie Record play right wing back and you sit Cameron Green left wing back?
I'm inclined to not.
Mess
I don't know.
around
You could do that, I suppose, couldn't you? But I'm not inclined to have too many square pegs and round holes. I think. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Exactly.
We will see 2:00 on Saturday. So hopefully, are you nice and confident going into this game?
Fairly. I mean, we've certainly got the weapons now, haven't we? Let's be honest, to hurt them. So I'm fairly confident. But I respect Eastleigh, they're a good side. So
and it's a bit of a journey as well, isn't it? And they got to come back and play the game on Monday. I think, it's going to be a really tough game, and the Reece Johnson injury is a huge blow.
Yeah, massively.
I think that's really shaken the defence, even though our defence was very, let's say for now, unless something happens in between then, quite lightweight anyway. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, live commentary on Mixlr.
Yeah.
From 2:45 bring you all the action live if you can't get down there.
Also Match Centre as well.
Yeah.
And then also just keep on looking at Twitter. You'll
Yeah.
see that you'll see the live updates from the Twitter account. So yeah, bring it on.
Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any of our content, and click the bell to get notifications.